She still has pizza, so it's good.
That helps.
It does, doesn't it?
Hi.
So I photographed you. It's been 7 years now.
7 years.
I was gonna say 7 years last month, actually.
Oh my God, like almost to the day.
I was about to say, because it was in March of 2012 that we worked together.
It's so long ago.
Right? But after, you ended up getting your album and your pictures.
Yes.
And I was just wondering, like, after 7 years, what do you think about the whole experience?
I actually still look at them. Like,
Yeah?
at least, like, once or twice a week.
Really?
I do. Yes. I keep them, like, on my bookshelf right in the living room, so that I know where it is and I can pull it out. And I love looking at them. One, because it reminds me of a really, like, great fun time in my life. But two, because the whole book and the whole, environment was so comfortable. And it just, it made me feel so pretty in a time where I may not have felt pretty on a constant basis. So it was really, it's really nice to, go back and, look at that.
I was gonna say, that's one of the things that I love about the idea of an album, or even having print photos instead of just digital.
Yes.
Is having something you can hold in your hands.
Yes.
As, a touchstone of remembering how it made you feel.
Yes.
Being able to look at that and say, oh my God, she's beautiful, she's me.
Mm-hmm.
Where you have that thing where you can see regularly versus like a disc or something where it would
Agreed.
be, you don't see it unless
Yeah.
occasionally, but it's tucked in a drawer somewhere
The thing
on
is
the computer.
that, in a world that's going so digital, I still like print. I like print because I like to seal it, or to seal it. I like to see it. I like to feel it. I like having something that I can go, oh my gosh, look what I did this one time, and then being able to open it up, because there's nothing like opening a book and having a good size
tangible evidence.
instead of pulling out your phone and going, oh, maybe I can see this detail. It's so nice to have it in a book.
Yeah.
And it's there.
So, from the photo experience to now, has it actually had any lasting effect other than enjoying the book itself?
Besides our friendship.
Well, obviously there was me walking up to you and saying, hey, we should do pictures. I'm a makeup artist. Hey,
yes, exactly. I know you just danced partially naked, but I'd like to video you, film you. And I'm, okay, let's do that.
But yeah, other than being bestie friends now for 7 years.
So it's really helped a lot with the self-esteem, actually, to be able to do a photo shoot that I would never have done before this, ever, and to have felt so comfortable and so beautiful, and to look back at those photos and still go, oh my gosh, I remember that day and I felt so pretty and I was so happy and we had such a good time that I didn't feel like I was sitting on a couch in lingerie. It just felt so normal and natural that it really did help skyrocket my confidence and how I feel and my ability to help other people feel really beautiful. So those, it just helped me get to an even better place.
Oh, I love that, and I love that since doing that, your cosplay stuff has completely exploded, and you started going from where we were, where doing that burlesque class was this huge deal for you.
Yes.
To all the way 7 years later, and you end up talking at cosplays and doing panels and all of that.
And one of the panels that I consistently do at any convention that I go to is body positivity, and I don't really think that I would have been there or gotten to that point if I hadn't done that photo shoot. Like, I really don't think that I would, like, honestly.
Like, and for me, I see that you were already starting on that path because you were doing that burlesque class. And,
Yes.
you know, getting to start playing with the idea of, you know, feeling comfortable in your own skin.
Yes.
And yeah, I just kind of took you and said, yeah, let's like run with it now.
Do it. Run with it. Get on that plane and go.
Yeah, and we had so much fun. We did on the shoot. And I just, you know, and aside from having gotten, you know, from my point of view, like a fabulous friend and somebody that I can't wait to work with in Florida.
Yes.
And, you know, up here as soon as I'm able to fly up from some stuff. But, you know, just hearing about the longer term effects of, because I mean, I know that, you know, the work that I've done to, you know, build my self-esteem and all of that.
Right.
And one of the big steps for me was really working on getting comfortable in my body. When I was an exotic dancer, the first club I danced at was a
Okay, you want to see one more time?
So I actually got to a point where I could be standing naked in front of somebody and not think of it and have a normal conversation.
Right.
And just knowing that, you know, I went from being so shy I couldn't even anything
Yeah.
to being able to have a conversation standing butt naked with somebody.
Right.
It's so powerful, and being able
Agreed.
to help other people like find that power within themselves of this is just me.
Yeah.
And I'm comfortable, I'm happy, I'm not even thinking about being naked, it's just, it's me.
And I think that ability that you have makes the person on the other side of the camera
I just don't play games.
feel so much more comfortable, because you're talking about, they're in lingerie. It's not something that they would probably normally do on a normal basis. Like, some of us are an exception, but like,
I was gonna say lingerie or nude in front of a person that a lot of times you kind of know a
it's
little.
kind of a stranger. It's a little unnerving to be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna like take my clothes off and this person is going to film me or, you know, photograph me, is a little like, we don't, like, for people who don't have that experience, it's really like unnerving. It's like stage fright. It's a lot of pressure to like be a certain way. And I think that because you have that experience where it's like, oh, it's just body parts. Like, everyone's body is different and it's fine. Like, whatever body you have, you should be loving. And the fact that you've had those experiences, I think makes it so much more comfortable for people like me on the other side of the camera.
Well, and since then, you've actually been able to face the camera additional times for your cosplay stuff.
Yes.
And so has it helped you be less nervous in front of the camera? Because you start, at least in my experience was, you know, once you start like getting comfortable with the idea of, you know, hanging out with the person there. Yeah, there's a camera there, but you're with the person.
Yes.
That once you kind of have that like once or twice, it starts getting easier and easier to just be yourself and be playful in front of the camera. It's like you warm up to it so much faster.
In any situation, like even like at family functions when people come and they're like, let's take a family photo, and you're going, I don't want to. Like, it makes it a lot easier to get in front of the camera. And on the same side, like, you're the one that taught me how to pose, because I didn't know what I was doing. I'd get in front of the camera and go, am I cute yet? And you were the one that was like, okay, chest up, chin down, face out. And I remember this, and I continuously do it to the point where I've had other photographers go, have you modeled before? And I'm like, not necessarily.
Well, and I keep telling everyone, because one of the things people end up saying is I'm not photogenic. And it's kind of like very few, like, I don't think really for the most part anyone is actually born photogenic.
Yeah.
It's something that people practice. Like the people that we think of as naturally photogenic are the people who have looked in the mirror and, okay, like where do I look best? How, like what angle? Let me work on these expressions. And anyone who hasn't done that, like you haven't spent the time practicing how do I make myself look good.
Right.
Like what's the best way to angle myself.
Right.
Whereas on the other side of the camera, I can help guide you
Because
into
you're
that.
seeing it.
Exactly.
Yes.
And guide you into that, and then you can start feeling in your body.
Yes.
Okay, this is what you need to do. This is how it works.
And it's nice because it's going to be different for every person. And I'm an Amazon. Like, I'm 6'1". I'm a plus size girl. Like, I can't be posed the same way that someone else would be posed, like, because my body is different and the way that I hold myself is different, and you have the ability to pose everybody, which is so nice and so amazing to see.
I try.
You do.
Well, and see, for me, it's just, with a lot of the stuff, it's, just, the poses and how somebody sits in it comfortably, but there's a few basic things, like what's closer to the camera is going to appear bigger than what's further away. So if you're self-conscious, like about your hips, for instance, you tuck them back away a little bit.
Right.
You want your bosom to look bigger, you move it forward a little bit. If you were trying to, like diminish that, for instance, being able to bring your arms forward and tuck your chest back some, and now you're gonna look smaller busted for.
I'm gonna learn.
But
See, awkward.
I
So
will say that,
awkward.
well, it's something that, but the thing is it's something that we need to work on, that you
Right.
need to, figure out exactly how do you.
Right.
But since you haven't done it yet,
It's
not something you know.
will-
Now that you know that, you're going to be sitting there going, wait a minute, I'm going to sit with my mirror and wait a minute.
You
how
know
am I
what
gonna
I
do
also
this?
remember now that we're talking about this, and I'm doing these weird like poses that you don't do in everyday life. I remember going home, and for like a week, every muscle in my body hurt because I was using muscles that I wouldn't normally use, and I was like, why do my sides hurt? Like, I didn't do anything. I didn't go to the gym.
But the thing is that for posing, you push it a little bit further, because whatever feels normal, you're going to end up almost seeming boxy.
Yes.
Versus,
So she started complaining.
You have to exaggerate.
exactly, exaggerating the curves so that it translates better on camera. And then all of a sudden you get this beautiful feminine form. And then you just sit there going, oh, gorgeous. It's like, I need to be in goddess pose every day.
But
Hand bite through
it's
that.
not that you're not photoshopping the person. Like, you didn't Photoshop
I
me
do.
like at all.
That's not true. I did a little bit.
You did, but you
I
didn't change
edit-
my body.
No, I
Yes.
will, and the thing is that the only things body-wise that I edit are things like if I have you tuck your arm so it makes your arm thicker than it actually is. Yes, I might tuck that back,
Right.
because that's not actually how your arm is.
Right, but you're not trying to
But
make
I'm not
someone
specifically.
look thinner.
I'm not going to make you look like you're a size 10 because we'd all be looking at it going, what is that alien there? That is not the person.
Right.
You are a beautiful curvy woman, and I want you to actually love each and every one of your curves.
I do.
I just don't want to show you curves that you don't have.
Fake curves.
Exactly, like the little arm puff curves here, so like
The
that.
ones that only happen when you
So
do
we-
weird things.
Yeah, so we pose you the best that I can, and sometimes I'm going for something that's going to smush something, so I fix that a little bit. I send my stuff off to my retoucher, and he does like the beauty, smoothing, glamorous gorgeousness that he does, because I'm not doing my own retouching.
I
at this
really
point.
love that.
He's amazing, and the whole point of it is for you to look at it and. Yeah, you're looking at it going, wait a minute, like, she's gorgeous, oh my god, that's me. But
Yeah.
you need to be able to recognize
Yes.
that it's you.
Agreed. Like, I look at it and I go, I look beautiful. I don't go, wow, that girl in the photo looks beautiful. Oh, that's me. I say, wow, I look really pretty.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love it.
Yay!
I love it so much.
I love you too.
And I'm so glad that I got to see you again.
Yeah.
I can't believe like I said, she's in Florida. She's up visiting for, I believe you were doing makeup for a wedding.
For a wedding.
With one of your friends. So, yeah, they came to visit me, so here we are.
Here we are.
Thank you so much for chatting with
You're
me about
welcome.
that. It means so much, and it's just so good to actually hear, because I know what we did at that time, and I know how it affected me, but hearing from you about 7 years later, what your experience is, so if you had a friend who was thinking about doing it, what would you tell her?
200% do it. I mean, you'll probably be scared. You'll probably double think yourself, but definitely do it. you will feel a lot more confident afterwards. You will probably feel very uncomfortable while it's happening for a very short amount of time, but do it, because the amount of self-esteem that you gain from an experience like this is irreplaceable.
And in addition, for people who have any financial concerns, I also do payment plans.
Payment plans!
Because I want to make this as accessible as possible for
Yeah.
anyone. So I am more than happy to work out payment plans, whatever she needs, whatever you need to be able to have the experience.
Amazing.
Like, let's do it.
Amazing. And
So-
a lot of I've worked with a few photographers who don't do payment plans, so the fact that you do payment plans is really, really
I
nice.
do like prepayment, so if a girl knows that she wants to do something so that she can buy into my basic package ahead of time. So if she just wants to come and not think about any money, anything, like you've already spent your money, you're good. You can upgrade if you want to, but you've already paid.
Right.
You can walk out and say, yep, these are the pictures I want, and we're done.
Right.
Or, being able to purchase whatever your little heart desires and all of my fabulous stuff, and
Yeah.
we can work it,
Work it
work it
out.
out so that you can get everything that you want for your goodies.
I love it.
I know, I love my job.
It's really nice to love your job.
It is, and it's yeah.
And it's really nice that you have a job where you're able to make other people feel beautiful.
And not only that, I end up meeting the most extraordinary women, case in point, but pretty much all the women that I've met with it so far have been like these incredible women who are either in the midst of their own personal like self-empowerment journey, or they're at the very beginnings of it, where they're at that feeling like this isn't how it's supposed to feel. Like I need to do something.
Right.
Let me try doing this.
Yes.
And having that photo shoot experience, and starting
Yeah.
that way of looking at yourself differently.
Yeah. And a word out there too, you don't have to be a size 2, you don't have to be a size
no.
10. You can be whatever size, and this would still be an amazing journey for you.
I was about to say, and I shoot couples too. So for her,
And
I was about to
couples.
say, so if she's nervous about doing it on her own, we can do a couples shoot. She can have him.
Shoot.
I know.
Or
wait
her.
till- I was about
Or
to
her.
say, wait. Yes, or her.
Or her.
Honestly. Or them. Or.
Or they, or whatever
Yeah, I was about to say,
pronouns you go by.
I was going to say, speaking of which, when I do come visit you next, you know that you and Jamie are in for it, right?
Oh God. Jamie's gonna put up a fight, but I'm gonna be like, yes, okay.
You know what? He's going to put up a fight at first. I have that situation with guys a lot where at first I'm like, and then I start getting them doing it, and it's like with a couple shoot though, the kind I like doing. It's kind of like, well, it's almost like a little bit exhibitionist. You're like getting to like make out with your partner some.
Jamie's gonna be so uncomfortable.
You say that now though, like he'll warm up to it. You'll give him that right tone of voice, and he'll be like,
And
yes
he-
ma'am.
yes,
and
ma'am.
he'll get right to it.
He will. Because if I tell him, he does. So.
I've noticed he's a very good boy.
He is a good boy.
But thank you so much for chatting
You're
with me about it.
welcome.
I know I'm going to turn off this camera, and we're either going to do some pictures, or pictures and hanging out, or pictures hanging out, and who knows what else. So, yeah.
We're gonna do some stuff.
Yeah, stuff. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.